term podcast where no fluff, just facts. Definitely got a facts guy today, but you can be a little fluff. You can be little, right? So this is Vinny Garasi. Thanks for coming today. Good to see you.
Of course.
Tell us a little about you. I'll throw some stuff in later, though.
Well, I've been a real estate investor for over a decade. I currently run Invincible Works YouTube Academy and agency. We help folks find their ideal client on YouTube and establish their authority in a niche. All those fancy terms saying, basically, we run episodic, like a Netflix show every week for our clients on YouTube.
Or more than once a week.
Yeah, more than once a week. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
A lot of AI there?
Yeah, well, you never know it, but yeah, I hear it's funny that you mentioned that because a lot of times you can't even tell when we use voice clones with our videos.
My team didn't know.
Really?
They were like, wait a minute, is that not live for him or something? And then Jeannie's like, that's not you talking. I said, which part? Which part? And then, so yeah, I am a client. I'm not, but also that's just a different sphere you have to be. And you have to be in everyone, correct? Like all the different platforms.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
When Sean and I were talking about that, you got to be all over here too, Sean. He's like,
I know. Yeah. No, but YouTube is a really great space to be because it's the second biggest search engine after Google.
Wow.
And so what we're finding is
can I ask one question?
Yeah, of course.
Is that an age demographic? Because I would never go to YouTube and search for. I remember back in the day, I went to YouTube University for real estate investing for sure in the beginning, but I wouldn't go look there normally. But it's because I'm in my 50s and not 20s, 30s.
You'd be surprised. A lot of the traffic, especially for 55 and older, we're getting a lot of YouTube traffic. But when we say it's the second biggest search engine, so Google's the first, and then because it's owned by Google, it's just, sheer search volume. So even though you may not go there, there's a ton of people all over the world that's doing that. I'm a little intrigued. As soon as I saw ChatGPT or OpenAI start their own browser. And that's when they start advertising and when they start offering that, I think they're going to give Google maybe a little run for their money. But at the moment...
But then Google will just incorporate that into Gemini.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, because those are like side by side,
They sure
and
are.
I have both.
Yeah.
And what I've started to see is that I hit something, and now it always handles my emails for me. Gemini.
Gemini's great.
Yeah, because I'm like, I might as well use it. It's right here. Because instead of copying and pasting over, they had me by just all of a sudden. I think there was an opt out, but I didn't do it, and now it just gives me the option as I'm typing.
Yeah.
And then it's like hit the tab and it finishes. I'm like, yeah, that sounds better than what I would have wrote. Cool.
It's great because it integrates with Google Workspace, and so if you're using
it's the whole
Google,
suite, right?
It's so nice.
Did I ever tell you my Jeannie story when she came to work here?
No.
So the week before she started, I was speaking at the Goria, so she came that night to see it for the first time. So my wife, Jeannie, were sitting down, and she's telling about this company she used to work for. She was like, yeah, they were so antiquated. They were using Calendly and Zoom, but everything Google. She gets up to throw her cup away, and I'm like, she's talking about us. Because we did it all. And then she's like, oh, you're paying for this and this, but it's right here, and then she just started to streamline some things.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people don't realize you don't need all that if you have this. And anybody who has a Gmail, you have this.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of good stuff. And they're always telling you, hey, look, pop-up window, which I never read, but someone will do it and say like, oh, look at this new thing, right? But I think most people just don't take the time to look.
I agree with you. I mean, OpenAI has done a really nice job with ChatGPT. We use that a lot with everything, but we're using Gemini too. And I think, to your point, kind of like being everywhere on social media, you need to not just put all your eggs in one basket with AI too.
Right.
Because Gemini does things really well that OpenAI doesn't, and vice versa. As an example, like OpenAI has those projects that you can load a bunch of files in and really train them. Gemini does other things really well, like the writing is really stellar for that. So we test out a lot of different models and stuff like that. But it's cool to see, them as they compete. We really
get the benefit.
Get the benefit. Yeah,
because they're always going to be, pricing, they're going to keep it down because there's this guy over here doing it, right? And both of them, whether it's, this one or that one, they're backed by a ton of money.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not like they're trying to drive revenue, they're trying to drive their competitor out of business first. and we get the benefit until one leaves. Or
Yeah.
another one comes in. You never know.
And who knows? I mean, it's fun because, you know, just wrapping back around to being everywhere,
Right.
right? It's interesting because we talk a lot about our friend Sean. Sean's another one of
Hey, even if we make fun of you, we love you.
Sean's another one of our clients at Invincible Works, and not only is he ranking on YouTube and Google for Orlando Airbnbs, but ChatGPT told a client to call him because ChatGPT is scraping Google as well, and they're like, okay, so if I know I type into AI a lot, and I find myself doing it more than, say, Google itself, because I like how it aggregates from a lot of different sources, Reddit and
Right.
you know, different websites. And so someone was typing in like, oh, how do I best invest in the Orlando area if I want to buy an Airbnb? Well, it did a Google search, and then Sean pops up, and they're like, you should call this guy.
Wow, imagine chat says call Sean McCormick,
Yeah,
right?
it did. Yeah, it's incredible. And so
Now I have like a target, right?
I know,
That's what-
right? So, but that's the goal.
Yeah, no, but see, I didn't, you know, learning something already today, of course, but it's just that the breadth of all this and where it's going fast, and I think people just have to just get in the car and drive with it.
I agree with you.
Because if you're not, they're just left behind.
I agree with you. I have so many folks that I talk to on a regular basis because we do use AI as the foundation of a lot of stuff we do
yeah.
because it leverages our time. I'm doing 20 times the amount of work that I could do 10 years ago in a day because of just the systems we set up.
Well, it would have
and
been
stuff.
spreadsheets and
Yeah. And even the just scraping spreadsheet data, like you said with real estate, that's really awesome too. But I feel like people won't get to ignore it in a
Yeah.
few years.
Yep.
They'll have to, like, folks can now, but it's just like anything. And they're like, oh, so many jobs are being taken away, but also it's created, like, without AI and the power that it's brought, like I wouldn't be able to do as much as I can, you know, in such a high quality for all of our folks because it leverages my time. So
Of
it
course.
also creates new opportunities
well,
as
you
well.
know, it's with this goes and this comes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And what we have to realize is that once COVID happened, everything's accelerated. So a lot of the changes, look, even in the commercial real estate space, was starting to change, and COVID just accelerated it.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, I was telling my wife at the beginning of COVID, she was a bank manager, and I'm like, you know, you're done, right? Because what they were doing is, they had tellers remotely working other places and talking to people. That was the future. And you know, with her bank, and I'm like, you watch, in a few years they're going to figure out where the cost of living is cheapest around a metro city. That bank is going to build a big center there. They're not going to be in California where they are because it costs too much. Now they're in Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
Cheap living, right?
Yeah.
So then they have like an office building full of they're not the managers, but they're not the tellers, but the people in the branch who help everybody. And all those appointments are now on camera. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Not
The bankers,
all,
yeah.
all, but you could go into a branch and just sit in a secure video booth. Or you could do it from home, but you're talking to somebody there who would do everything they used to do right there for you.
Interesting.
But now they're so clocked. You have 45 minutes for this person, then it's 15 minutes between them and your next one. But so now it's easier to monitor everybody.
Makes sense.
Okay, but also cost of living, you know, average out. You're not in California, you're not in New York, but you're in Kansas, and you can just clock everybody in and out that way. Even the tellers don't need to be in the commercial space anymore. That's all going to go away one day. Oh, you need to talk to somebody? Yeah, press the button. There's a person now, but I bet you it's AI one day, right? Okay, and that, so then now, but opens up the jobs. Okay, AI is not. We don't have the robots to put the stuff in yet, right? But someone has to create it, build the actual machine for it, and place it where it needs to be. Write the code for it. It's just different skill sets, but it's rapidly evolving. Whereas, you know, 20 years for changes, you know, back in the 1900s, and now it's 5. We are 100% different every 5 years, it seems.
Does seem that way for sure.
Okay, and it's just the way it's going to be. I always say, today is the slowest day for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're not
Okay,
wrong.
someone told me that, and I live by that because it's true. But how do you slow it down? AI. You just got to embrace it. Okay?
Yeah.
Or luckily for me, I know people who work here who know how to use it better than me. Even in my own team, like Nikki and the rest of them, right? Nikki's, you're going to see what she's doing. You know Sora?
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So we have a 60-day little content thing she's making with my cartoon character. It covers one little topic in 12 seconds.
That's fun. That's
okay?
cool.
And she's like, can I make you sound funny? I'm like, there, girl, put me on helium. Okay? It'll probably have a better algorithm, though.
Yeah.
But that's a project she's working on, and
That's
she's
neat.
good at it, and she
Yeah.
loves it. So imagine giving somebody a project they love to play with and then making me sound foolish in the project, too, you get away with, right?
That's fun.
Okay, but she's been busy. I think she's going to be done next week, she said, with 60 days, one little short clip covering a good topic in
Yeah.
12 seconds, right? 12 seconds is all you got.
And that's I'm glad you brought that up, because you always have to provide value in 12 seconds, and 12 minutes, and 120 minutes. You have to provide value, or else no one's gonna.
Right, it
you're
just
not
can't be
gonna-
like, I love how you can make yourself dance and everything. That's
Yeah,
fun.
that's
I
great.
made one today or last night with my daughter. It's the Grinch chasing me riding a turkey. Me and my 8-year-old. Right, yeah, the Grinch is chasing me riding a turkey, right?
Okay.
Okay. Because, people are rushing past Thanksgiving. It's like, no, I want my turkey day first. Love the Grinch, but you got to catch me, dude, But we were just talking about it, so she has CapCut.
Yeah.
It's mine, but she has it on her phone, and I let her use some of my tokens. 'Cause
Yeah.
I never use them all anyway.
Sure.
And she's like, look what? I'm like, oh, that's cool. She comes in and just shows me, right?
That's
But the
fun.
first day she had it, she was like, Dad, show me how to use this. Wait a minute, hold on. You're 8, and you want me to show you how to use an app. And she's like, yeah, I'll just YouTube it, right? I'm like, there you go. But it's cool because then she opens up YouTube, and who does she see?
I do see her comments on our stuff. It's quite fun. She's like, "Go, Dad." I'm like,
Whenever she goes to her friend's house and they turn the TV on, the first thing she wants to see is if, like, hey, my dad is not on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, there you go. Hey, babe, you from their stuff. Subscribe me.
I love it. That is perfect.
But so she thinks just because you're on the channel, you're famous, right? I can't look. They were in here last week. It's going to be great. Let me tell
I'm
you.
so looking forward
I was
to
sitting
that.
in your seat. That's the best part.
And they came up with questions.
They came up with them, then we modified them with chat a little bit,
Yeah.
right? But each one had some good questions because they took turns. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, that's
You
great.
know, I had us like, my daughter asked a question. I almost had to stop myself from. I did stop myself from crying, right? Because it's my 8-year-old girl asking me like, what has made me the most proudest of her, right? It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
now that was the chat nicing it up. She said, a little differently at 8, right? But imagine, you're on camera and it's like, Earl, you have no clue, right? And so, but I think sharing those moments with both of them.
Yeah.
Because remember, I don't push them into, like, my son's getting a look at the business. I don't push him into the business. I'm not that guy, right? Hey, if you want, it's not easy,
No.
but it's rewarding. But if you want to do something else, like, as long as you love what you do, I'm good with it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's all I always tell him. He wants to do like accounting, CPA, and he's like, do you use that? I was like, hey, let me show you what I pay for it, right? I think you're going to pay me that? Absolutely not. But just let them see and pick. And the little girl, she argues good, real good. She hasn't beat me yet, but she's coming close, right? I love that. That's my lawyer. I got a lawyer and an accountant. I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are set.
I know.
That's fantastic.
know?
Well, and she's only 8, and she's almost beaten you. So there you go.
I don't let them win at anything, either of them. I've never been that dad.
Yeah.
I don't care if we're playing games, like board games. I don't play video games either. I'm not going to let you win.
Right. You got to beat me.
Yeah. My daughter's like, but Dad, everybody else lets me win. You know you didn't win then, did you? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Even little games we play, like every day I say to them before we leave, I love you, you're amazing, do amazing things. And you've been on the call where she sneaks in on me.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay? Like
Yeah.
she'll come downstairs with her shoes in her hand so I don't hear. She won though. See the difference in like just letting her win, but just she knows she won.
Yeah.
There's a prideful thing for me that she knows the difference at 8. Because we see it a lot, especially in the younger generations, that mom and dad coddled them, okay? They taught them everybody gets a trophy, and that's not the case in life. And then they go out into the real world and they're stung by it. Because where's my trophy? Dude, there's winners and losers in life. Sorry to tell you this. You should have learned this. Like I took my son out of this one basketball league because it was that kind of league. We put him into another league because he wanted to play. They lost every game. He cried at the end of that season. He didn't get nothing. Nothing. He's like, where's my trophy? He didn't earn it. Yeah, but you know what he did that off season? He practiced.
That's a
We had a
valuable
net in the
lesson.
back. Every morning I could hear that basketball. Boom, boom, boom. 25 shots before school. look, he was a short Indian kid. He was already like, having problems. But a guy I knew, both his sons played AAU, played college here, AAU, plus overseas pro. They used to have a basketball academy. This is all before COVID. Here in Mineola. So I got him some extra credit help, right? He came over and they taught his team. They said, dude, these people stink. But we're going to teach them defense. No one's going to score on. Because what happened is they built kind of a super team before like that. Like parents figured out how to get their kids on one team. And we ended up beating that team twice because this team could play defense. Like you couldn't score on this team. Like maybe half court, they're throwing jumpers, right? Because they had some of the stockier kids.
Sure.
Right? You can't just blow past them. Step in front of people. And once the guy taught them, step in front. It's a charge. Step in front. They were like, oh. And instead of losing like 24-1 or 2, we were losing 8-6. Okay?
Interesting.
Yeah, because they knew how to stop them.
Yeah.
And then they started to score a little bit. Like they still didn't have a winning record.
Sure.
But they were very proud of what they did that second year.
For sure. Well, and you said something that I learned in, I think, 8th grade. My whole family played instruments. Everyone's musical. And so I picked the trumpet to play. My sister did too. But the thing is, I went through, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be playing this forever because my whole family plays, right? And all my cousins come from a big Italian family. We're super close. I know, right?
I know. But in Buffalo,
right?
The frosty Italians.
Frosty, yeah, right. South of Buffalo, we're in the home of Jamestown, or home of Lucille Ball, in Jamestown. And so So here I am in 8th grade, and I was blaming it on my braces, and my parents were like, oh, he's not good because of his braces, and la la la. And my band teacher, Mr. Bush, I still remember the conversation. He comes up, he's like, Vinny, stop doing this. This isn't for you. I said, what do you mean, Mr. Bush? I like this. He's like, no, you like hanging out. You like being here. But you don't like the trumpet. You know why? Because when's the last time you practiced? He says, oh, I never practice. He's like, you need to do things that, and when you practice, you'll be good at it.
Right.
And so then I went on. He's like, just join choir. And then that was a big thing for me. I loved it. And anything you want in life, you need to practice. And,
absolutely.
And that was the biggest lesson at 8th grade that I learned from Mr. Bush. And the fact
I learned that in my 40s, by the way.
Wow. See, thank you, Mr. Bush.
I know, like better education than I got already. Well, I was talented in a lot of things, and if whatever I took up, if I wasn't good quick, I quit.
Yeah.
And then I took up real estate investing. Wasn't good quick, let me tell you. But I didn't quit, right?
No, you sure didn't.
And then I learned everything along the way here. That's what I impart to people, okay?
Yeah.
Like, just, if you want to do it, just master it, okay? And so, like, the trumpet wasn't something you wanted to master.
Not at all.
But that's why we always say to everybody, master your craft.
Yeah.
Just be excellent at it.
Yeah, for sure.
And watch everything just, because then it flows off you naturally.
It does.
Like, if you love it, look, I love what I do. So it's not work to me.
Right.
So I can work crazy hours if I want to.
Yeah.
It doesn't, as long as I'm working in my role, right? Now,
Correct.
if you drop me into a seat into the company again, probably not going to be, I understand there's emergencies, I can drop in and fill in.
For sure.
But when I have to go back for a longer period, Tom's like, we have a book called, Grumpy Monkey. I'm a grumpy monkey, right? Because it's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Because my vision is so short then.
Yeah.
Okay? But anything you do, if you love it, it's not work anymore.
No, it's sure not. I mean, I discovered that with the work we do. I mean, I was up till 3 in the morning, and it just went.
But that's your normal anyway, though, right? Isn't it? Like you're like a late
trying
night
to
guy.
be better at that.
Because you have to get up some mornings like right before 5 to like get
Sure
on our
do.
calls, right? So.
Well, and as I get older, I have noticed that I do require a little more rest.
See, I don't require more rest. I
Yeah.
just have to go to sleep at a certain time.
Sure.
Because my alarm clock's going off.
Yeah.
Like I can't stay in bed past 6 unless I'm sick.
Right.
Because my brain's telling me get up.
Yeah.
I can't. Now this is the Florida problem for me. I moved here because I hate winter.
Yeah.
So then in New York, where I'm from, like you, when it's winter, we stay inside, we hibernate.
We sure do.
Well, I don't do that here. So then I feel guilty when I look out my windows and it's nice.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I need to be out there.
Yeah.
Like I just don't, I won't go and lay down or do rest. What was it, 2 weeks ago on that Sunday, it was pouring, it was cold.
I remember that, yeah.
I went to church, I picked up my new truck, I drove home, and all I drove it was from place to home, parked it, went to sleep the whole day. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just write this day in right now. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, going to sleep. She's like, it's 2:30. I'm like, yep, see you tomorrow. Woke up, had dinner, showered, and back to sleep. Because the weather said I could do that.
Yeah.
But if it was sunny out, I would have been like, I would have been
gotta get
walking, I
going.
would have seen what the kids wanted to do. Because those days are, you know, you don't have like, I realize my time with them is short.
Yeah.
And so I maximize. You know, I always ran through life trying to get to the end and then start what's next. I live right here now. My children have had me learn to be present. Like right now, my world is you, me, in the studio.
Yeah.
Then it's different later.
Well, it's nothing else right now.
There's
This is
nothing
what we
else.
have.
This is all we have, right? But I was never that person. I was always trying to run through what's next and never enjoying life at the moment.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with Sean the other day, right? His phone's beeping. He's like, man, your phone doesn't keep going off. I said, yeah, because it's off. Someone else will answer those calls. My wife can get through if there's an emergency.
Right.
And he's like, really? I'm like, I'm not a slave to that thing. I've even programmed myself. I told you I had the separate phones. I can bring up my work phone upstairs because that has the good news on it. And I want to read my news. I like to read Apple News. It's so weird. I'm like old-fashioned. I want to read, right? I don't want the paper, though. I just want to be able to, like...
I like Apple News, too,
Yeah,
though. You
but
swipe over, and there it is.
Yeah, but I don't have it on my other phone. I have it on this phone. But I've trained myself not to look anymore.
Ah.
Like, I don't look...
Kind of, it's a distraction.
But no, I don't look at the text messages or the phone calls. My phone doesn't beep for emails or calls.
Oh, mine doesn't either.
Okay? And so, but when I bring my, before I couldn't not stop myself from just hitting that green button to look. Now it's like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, but it took me 2 years to be able to like have that kind of self-control on it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, that the Pookie syndrome. And that's what it was, right? And then imagine you get bad news, you're up now.
Yeah.
You can't fix it anyway.
No.
It's 10:30 at night. There's nothing you can do. Like my people have a good with me. It's like, don't bring me anything important after 4:30. If it can wait till tomorrow morning, see you at 8.
Yeah.
What's the point?
You only can control what you can control when you can control it.
And 4:30, my brain is not the happiest.
No.
I feel I can solve.
I get that.
Yeah, I can solve anything early in the morning.
Yeah.
Later in the day, I feel it becomes heavier. Even the simplest of stuff, just because I'm winding down.
Yeah.
And that's just how my body works. But if I wind myself up with some major problem, I'm up then.
Oh yeah. I mean, as soon as I know whenever I whenever I wake up, I try not to look at my phone right away because I know if I do, I have to get up. Because I'm just looking, I'm like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this.
I look at my phone at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I'm up earlier.
Yeah, I know.
I go to the gym, so now I have my sauna in the house done.
Ooh,
okay?
yeah.
So we're at 151. We're not Bacardi, but we're heat at 151. Now, by the end of the week, the hot tub and the cold plunge, the electric just got run yesterday. The guy comes back to set it all up, and then the rest of a little. But on Saturday, I'll be able to use it completely. Because I was doing the sauna in the gym. I didn't like after I work out doing the sauna because your heart's pumping already, so it's even hotter to you in that room. But now it's the first thing I do, right? Like, yeah, the first thing I go in there and I can go in 25, 30 minutes, and then I stretch.
Interesting.
I feel so much, just stretching after the heat.
Yeah, typically, like to your point, it's opposite, but I like that idea to do it before.
Yeah. Heat myself up.
Yeah.
I take a quick rinse off shower because you're going to be sweaty.
No, for sure.
And then I stretch though, but I'm limber now. You know, at 54, things start to crack a little differently. But then we'll have the cold plunge too.
Yeah.
And I got a really crazy, like 50 jet hot tub. You can sit straight in it, but you just will turn to the side and they have the leg up thing.
Oh,
and the jets will get on you. I was showing my father-in-law yesterday who has some health issues. He's like, oh yeah. Like, dude, come on, the sauna's open. The sauna's open too.
How cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
You know, but that's my time in the morning for that. Okay? And when I'm in the sauna or at the gym, I'm usually using my other phone too.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? Because I don't want somebody interrupting.
Correct.
And I'm not there long. I don't need a lot of time. Like gym is now 45 minutes, 20 treadmill, 25 workout, out the door.
Yeah, that's all you need.
But if you let that world interrupt you,
I know.
and we're so good at that, especially as Americans, right?
Oh.
Because we feel we have to.
For sure.
Like, I always tell everybody, why is that your emergency? But they called me. It doesn't make it your emergency. That's their emergency. That's their poor planning. But look how you adjusted. Like, one of my lady who runs my loan company, first couple of weeks, she was just giving time away. I'm like, so let me ask you a question. Let's go back to that first couple of weeks. And I had like the 6 or 7 people. I said, you gave them a lot of time. Tell me what came out of it. Nothing. You made them a priority. And they shouldn't have been a priority yet. They were a contact. There should have been a screening. She has an assistant. You have that person screen them, right? And then we have a couple questions to ask. You know, how much time do you need? What do you hope to get from the meeting? And just one other one. We just want to make sure you're meeting with the right person too, okay? Because Jeannie will say, no, you meet with Bernie or meet with Jen or whoever, right? You don't. That's not for Tom, okay? Great use of time. But then I'm prepared too for what we're going to talk about, okay? But they're probably not going to get in calendar till like 2 weeks, maybe later. Because we have a calendar link. Give them the link. When they can get in, right?
Right.
But why would you change that for somebody brand new?
Right.
Okay, you don't know anything. So yeah, but maybe. Okay.
Sure.
You can't pay your bills on maybe. And so like one of them no-showed her twice. I'm like, why are you still even thinking about it?
Oh. Yeah.
Right? Look, I had a great business meeting with somebody. We came up here, we met, we went to dinner and everything. And then I decided to do this business thing with him. He no-showed after I agreed. Now it goes down to the working group, right? He no-showed the group 3 times. Well, we went on with the business. Hey, thank you. You no-showed us, right? He's like, oh, I have emergency surgery today, but he's doing Facebook Lives. Everybody,
From
we
the
check,
hospital room?
Yeah, we check these things, by the way, right? Because somebody was like, did you know he's doing Facebook Lives today? I was like, I'm not going to check, but somebody did, right? So what does that tell you? It doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
They're just going to be a waste of time. Hey, thank you for the opportunity because we're going to monetize it really well. In fact, it starts tomorrow, and I'll explain more in a little bit. But I actually knew the person who runs the whole thing and still wasn't going to cut him out until he no-showed the group 3 times. They're like, Tom, what do you want us to do here? I'm like, what happened? Oh, forget him. Okay. Because we invited him, he no-showed. Walk away now.
Yeah.
It wasn't important to him. But thank you.
Wow. So many times you give people all these chances when they'll tell you the first time what their intentions are, right?
I mean, I thought he was more serious, honestly. I haven't met someone who talked that much faster than me. That was hard, right? But he's a New Yorker as well, so I didn't hold that against him. I'm like, oh, I got you, okay. And common denominator was that he was just, business isn't where it should be right now for him because he spent the last couple of years taking care of his mom. I know about that, right? So now we hit common ground, right?
Yeah.
So now, let me slow this down because that resonates with me, okay? And then we went to dinner, great dinner, okay? And then I met him on a Saturday, showing him some of the properties because he was going back to South Florida after his event in Orlando. And I thought it was going to work out really well.
Sure.
But understand, I told him that my involvement's probably done. I've agreed to do this. Now my broker partner and other people take over. He's like, you're not going to be there? Absolutely not. Once I agree to it, they put the details together. It's not my job anymore. He's like, oh, okay. But he didn't, I guess, need their time or approve of their time or appreciate it. But I said thank you. It's life, right?
It sure is.
I mean, it's everything. Look at the group we have. And, you know, some people, I don't even know if they're in the group anymore, okay, because they don't show up ever. It's like, okay. I asked somebody today about Greg. Greg, where are you, right? It's like, we have to remind Greg. The only person who can remind Greg to show up is probably his wife because she's there in the morning with him, right? So, but I'm going to reach out to him. I made him a note in my phone to call him today.
That's cool.
So,
we got to see him on Friday for our 5-week boot camp that we put together for folks that want to get to their first YouTube video. we sometimes include a bonus session. So they spend the 5 weeks really like the first week they find out their ideal client, then the second week they learn what they're typing in on YouTube to get found, and then we write the script and then we kind of put it together. So those that went through all 5 modules, they get to film the last day. And we have a beautiful spot in Winter Park that we typically go. There was a scheduling conflict, so I called Greg Bond. I said, Greg, I know you have a lot of different properties and stuff like that. Is there anywhere we could film that you're aware of around the Central Florida area? And he's like, oh, I got a place in Daytona Beach, but we're just renovating it, so it's probably echoey. And so he's like, I'll think about it. So we hang up. He calls me back. He's like, how about my office in Lake Eola? I'm like,
have you been in? Well, have you been in before that day?
Yeah, because
It's a nice office.
It is a very nice office, and the building
Even the lobby,
incredible.
because the lake is right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so what we did is we set up a little mock studio inside his boardroom, and it was so funny. Because typically when folks are on camera, we say, hey, to get your nerves out, just kind of like, shrug your shoulders back and just get all the stuff out, like just the nerves. And so we had a lady there. Her name's Robin. She's the sweetest, faith-driven. She's going to do great on YouTube. Faith, Family, and Fairways is going to be her channel, selling real estate.
On golf communities?
Yeah.
Fairways? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
You'd like the Johnsons. They're neat people. And so we're in there, and we're all like, and then Greg comes in. He's like, because it's Jane's office, right? And so
It's a law office.
And he's like, hey, there's some proceedings going on in the other room. If you could just keep it down. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna get kicked out.
Yeah.
And then the first 10 minutes that we're there, he's so gracious, but it was so nice to see him.
Oh yeah.
So we did get to see him.
Got to ask him about his survival pack in the trunk of his car. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, if the zombie apocalypse comes, he's good. I'm just telling you, he's good. It's like, Tom, you need one of these. I'm like, yeah, no, dude, no. I'm just going to let the first zombie get me, right?
Hey, come here, zombie.
Yeah,
right
I want to be on your team, I think, right? That's how it works. Yeah. So a year ago, in November, about this time, I met him at the office.
Yeah.
He talked to me about 1031 exchange, moving everything commercial, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Way over my head, right, for the first hour. Then I'm like, hey, okay. In layman's terms came into play, right? Hey, you got to dumb it down here for me. But he did. And then I went back to my wife. I said, look, why don't we think about doing this? And she was like, no. Okay, because she was trying to run property management. And we have quite a few rentals.
Yeah.
Saturday, she agreed to sell all our rentals. 1031 into mobile home parks. No more management for us at all. No more single home management. Manager in place, and And she was like, "Oh, great idea." But she doesn't work in the company anymore. But she still thinks it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I do so as well. We'll do it next year. By the end of the year, we'll start. Maybe we don't even get the first one done till next year. Park maybe till the end of the year, and then everything finished a year later. But it's the plan now.
Sure.
Because I'm tired of being a landlord. No matter what, in the end of the day, even though I own it, there's people in place, I'm still involved at times. I did an eviction on Saturday. Just drove up to the guys, my house, knocked on the door, we already gave them the notice and the time and everything. It's like, hey, she's like, oh, he's in the shower. Yeah, I need to see him. He came out, hey, how you doing? Yeah, you got to leave. Yeah, I seen the notices. Yeah, no, it's past the notices now. Yeah. Monday, dude.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving week. Okay, you can leave out. Like I told him, I gave him a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can leave this Monday, so you're not leaving on Thanksgiving week. They go, no, wait a minute. I say, you know what, you're right. Let's make it Friday of next week.
Right.
So this Friday, right? I mean, it's like there's always issues, but this is my house where I've evicted every tenant in this house. This is norm for me over here. But my wife never does it. She won't do it, and I'm like, what? This is easy. Pull up. Because we got 2 houses side by side and one behind it. So it's like I just checked on all of them because we were in Lakeland anyway. I was taking her to dinner, and I said, oh, let's go handle that. That's fine. I got you. Stay in the truck. But I'm like, after this, I've just started to think about it. And I say to her, hey, I got a crazy idea. And she's like, another one? I'm like,
another one?
And she's like, oh, yeah, no, let's do that. I'm like, oh, so it's not crazy. Cool. She's like, yeah, 1. Okay, hey. Got to start, But that's where we should be anyway, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like my niche, stay there.
Makes sense to me.
But now I'm not comfortable where I don't need to see what I own anymore. Like if we got the park in, like, I hope it's not Kansas, but in Texas, right? I'm okay with it. Put a manager in place and then walk away.
Yeah.
And I was discussing that already this week with some plans, as you know, because they have a lot of opportunity there. We're licensed there, and should be interesting. Now it's just doing it, right? Selling in a hard market, but there's some good rentals there. We'll figure it out.
That's cool.
But it's just making the plan now and sticking to it.
For sure.
You know? And it just really, like, I just wrapped it all together in my head last week, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore with these single families.
Yeah.
But a year earlier, Greg Bond put it in my head, talked about how to 1031 into commercial. But in the last year, you know, I've researched it. I've learned about it. Not saying I'm a master of it, but using what you just said, my network, which is Greg and others, okay? Like, you needed to find the space, right? That's our network. It always works for us when we remember it. And I'm like, oh, let me ask questions now.
Yeah.
And that's what I did over the whole year. And then every so often I call Greg, hey, okay, opportunity zone in this. And he's like, and then he gets really happy because he geeks out with this.
Oh,
you know,
I know he does.
And I love it because I'm just like, okay, taking notes, you know?
He's such a good person, and he cares, and a faithful guy.
Oh, yeah. So we're selling our first project with him. I think it closed right before Christmas and everything, right?
Neat.
And it should have been, it took us a year to get it all done. The city, love Newport, Richie, love you guys. They said, oh, city water and sewer is right in front of the lot. You have to connect. It is not right in front of the lot. It is up the street, then they said. Well, it was $100,000 to run all the work that needed to be done. Okay, because it wasn't just up the street. It was up the street, make a left, go 2 blocks. There's your connection. So I was going to have to connect all that. Oh, and then they were like, oh, by the way, we want a DOT road put back. You don't have a DOT road there now. They're like, yeah, but we'd like you to put one back. And so then I had to get a lawyer and some other people involved and to, you know, have a little hearing with them.
Sure.
9 months.
9 months.
9 months. And Greg was like, oh, I'll reduce the interest. No, that's not how this works. But what happened was, in the preceding times, we found out that the well placement where it is, we found, so the well was way up front, not halfway through the lot, so I didn't have to put a new well in. All I had to do was put a new pump on top of the well. I just saved $8,000. There's the extra holding money. So we used divining rods of all things to find it up there, right? And so, but think about it. So by saving it, I just paid for all the extra. It's already in my budget. Now I'm still in budget. He's like, oh, okay. No, I wouldn't do it anyway. I would, if I've taken losses last year, I took them, I paid them, because the first time you take that, you lose a lender, you lose credibility with people. Okay? No, I failed, you get paid.
Right.
You know, because then they lend to you again. you know, if they take a discount, they might not want to lend.
Sure.
And so, no, that's why we have 20-some projects at all given times.
Right.
Okay? We're going to, look, cool thing is, and I want to make video over this, so the last 2 deals, we gave people $65,000.
Wow.
Because we can.
Sure.
Okay, first-time home buyers, issues. You saw the one with Dion, who's like my sister. She has $40,000 in equity, day one.
Yeah.
Day one. And these other people, you know, my mortgage company screwed up, I fixed it financially for them.
Yep.
Okay? Because you know what? Well, you've seen my emails, it says number 1, do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I asked them to switch over. I said it would be perfect. It wasn't perfect. I'm going to fix it. Then I went back to the people who run them. I'm disappointed. A better word to use, right? It's not the word growing up on the street I would like to use. It works better, though. It honestly does.
I agree with that.
Okay? Emotional intelligence at 54, better than never, right? But 65K, and we still made money on both deals. Oh, yeah. So it's not like, you know, but if we didn't, we would still do it, right?
For sure.
But we still made money. We didn't meet the number we wanted to, but guess what? We made 2 brand new first-time home buyers.
And that's worthwhile.
Those are paychecks of itself.
I agree with that.
And, you know, once people look, I went to see her for radio and I did the dud, right? This dude this guy came up to me and tore me up at the table afterwards, at our dealer table. You shouldn't have done that. They didn't deserve it. Now, meanwhile, we gave a house to a family whose husband died during the mortgage process, 4 kids, 3 are autistic, and here is Mr. High and Mighty saying, I shouldn't have done it. Okay. This is what you should have done, because they don't do... Okay. And I told them, you know, opinions are like blank. Everybody has them.
Smiles, right?
Yeah. And he said, are you calling me? I said, well, you're not that dumb after all, are you? I said, look, we're not going to do business. You're not going to change my mind. But see, the problem is you feel I have to think you're right. I don't feel you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel you're wrong either. You're only wrong in saying that I'm wrong. See, that's where we're at today in America.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm like, bye.
Mm-hmm.
You know? They were just laughing. Because, I mean, you can't fix that.
Mm-mm.
But imagine, like, you're worried about, like, you should have done this. Okay, dude. You're the best.
Yeah.
You're the best. You know? You think he stayed for 5 minutes, complained to me, and I just said at the end, I'll put my business against your business. Let's open the books and see who's doing better. I guarantee you, by giving, I get more than you ever will.
Give first is always the answer.
You know, when I was money motivated, I was never happy. I'm much happier putting people in homes because the byproduct is always better later.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, and people need to understand that. You don't have to agree with me, I don't care, but when you start doing it, right? I lived in Miami, 7,800 square foot waterfront home. My neighbor built 13 or 14,000. I was mad. But he was 80 years old, I'm 30. Still mad, you know, nice guy that we hung out, right? But so you'll never be the richest, the most famous. And if you try, you're a fool. You know, like, look, I wear a Fitbit. I don't wear any of my good watches anymore.
No.
Nope. My son wears them more than I do. My daughter was playing, she was taking them with her friend the other day and rolling them across the floor. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, see, no, I got to draw the line there. Dad, they slide really far. I'm like, yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
It's like, yeah, no, that's not the plan. You know, they're not fidget spinners, girl, right? But they're just there, like, on my shelf, right, in a box.
So she's just...
Yeah, she doesn't know.
That's
like, let me have
that. Not this one. Here, take this one.
Yeah, get one of my old Fitbits. But, you know, but because what does the watch matter?
Yeah.
It used to matter a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I get it. And I feel like once someone makes that shift and understands that, like you said, emotional intelligence, I think you can live a more powerful and intentional life when you're really helping folks and like that. We say it on YouTube a lot. You know, you have to give first. You just give value. No one cares who you are until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I remember about last year at this time, we sat at a coffee shop for 4 hours.
It was January.
Yeah.
It was right after we were trying to get in calendar.
Right.
Do you remember how the whole thing started? So the three of us, Greg, Harlan, we're getting this group together. And Harlan had the event in December that I couldn't attend because everyone got sick in my house.
Yep. Yeah.
So I was the caregiver as they threw up everywhere. So I didn't make it. Then he told me the story about you at Lexi's husband's funeral.
Yes.
And how it connected you to your faith.
Sure did.
And then I tried to, that's what the meeting was about. Then you're like, oh, it's not about YouTube. You do YouTube, I said? That's what I didn't know. I didn't know, right? But that put us into the group, right?
Yeah.
Because that was such a powerful story that I heard. And I don't know how, I guess I became the recruiter for the group.
You sure did.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, we need Vinny here. Okay. I'll contact him. And then it was back and forth because you were going up north. And
correct.
Right. And we're just trying to get a time. And then we ended up meeting after the holidays.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was January.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Foxtails, downtown Orlando.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked forever.
Because we had no agenda.
Yeah.
You know, it was just to see things, right? And then, but my agenda was to ask you about the group. Okay. Because what a powerful influence you've been. Dude, I'm not a big fan of Discord, though. I'm just going to tell you. Like, I don't mind doing the calls there, but anything else, we got to go. It's too much. We get lost, right?
Yeah.
And Harlan has to go back to the invites, and then we can put in each week what people are doing.
Hey, I live by my calendar. I'm not going to complain.
You didn't see my response to that? I heart calendar invites.
No, I did. No, I saw that. It was good. But I'm with you. We're going to Italy in a couple of days, and we put everything on the calendar. Like, what are we doing? Where's the hotels? Just so, like, everything's on the, because I'm like, I'm looking at the calendar.
Easy to find. Look, my Genie does that for me right now. Like, with everybody I'm meeting, you know what I do? I look beforehand, and I read the notes she puts in there.
Yeah, it's so nice. And because, like, we're looking at it anyway. And actually, that's how we... When we schedule our bi-weekly check-ins now.
Bi-monthly. So you're meeting twice a week? I'm like, no.
Bi-monthly. Yeah. Twice a week. I mistyped that.
Yeah. I saw it. I said she's going to ask anyway. So, because she's always going to ask. Like David Puppo reached out about getting in my calendar. Yeah. And I said, hey, I'm in Orlando this week. Just schedule with Jeannie after that for, First thing she says, do I want to meet with him? Because he didn't tell her we talked. So first thing, she's not going to reply. She's going to ask me, right?
Sure.
I said, yeah, I'm in Orlando, whatever day. If we can get him in after that, I will. So that's, I got one and then a him. So live in your calendar.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And then don't have control of your calendar either. That's when I did that, things got free for me.
Yeah.
Because to get in my calendar, you either have to personally know me to get a hold of me, or
Correct.
get through Genie. You got a better shot of getting a hold of me, probably.
That's what you want, though. You need the gatekeepers to, because then you can start working on the business instead of just get sucked
But that's
into
the
every little
difference. So
thing.
I was told when I get that position right, everything will eventually fall in line. I call her a squirrel keeper. I think most entrepreneurs can be like just running around, okay? And we always hear, you got to hustle, right? You got to kill the hustler, though. One of the groups was in it, they always talked about that. No, the hustler has to become a CEO. This is how you do it, though.
Yeah.
You're not the focal point of anything anymore, besides your role. And then when I put her in place, and then we got, look, she's a very forceful person. Like, she's not even with me, like, we have good fights. Love you, girl. But we, I have, all of my team can give me their opinion. Rule, ready? Any meeting, don't call me bald, don't call me fat. Anything else is on the table. I don't care, right? Pretty good parameters, okay? Because we have these business unit leader meetings, and I don't say anything. They solve their problems. I'm like the guy who's like, oh, yeah, it's a tie. Let me see it. Let me figure it, right? But
Sure.
I want them to do that because each one runs. We're going to have 7 different verticals by the end of January. Those are 7 different companies managed separately that all have to come together to give a homeowner a home, okay? They're in charge. So like I meet with each one for a few minutes every day as they huddle with their team as well.
That's cool.
But that's it. And then on Thursday, we have a big meeting once a week.
Yeah.
Then quarterlies, we do it here, okay? It's just, that's the footprint to build it out.
Yeah.
And I still can't do structure to save my life. I have a company who does that because they know me, right? They know what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And say, hey, like when things were a little fluky and I was just starting to add stuff in August, my COO who works for Sharper said, hey, I'm going to fly in, just spend a day with you. We got to have some talks because things are like, cool. Came in, drove around for the day. The news channel reached out. They wanted to interview me. I'm like, hey, we're going to talk on the news. Like, he's like, you got to be careful. I said, absolutely not. They're going to ask questions, and I'm going to, she's like, and the lady didn't put a lot of what she should have because I blasted the county and city for what they're doing. She's like, yeah, but I said, oh, so you're worried about them. Why? It's the truth. Because I told them, like, you're hitting impact fees the same on a $200 as you are on an $800,000 home. Those are different people. These should be charged more than these. Okay? Because it's 200 versus 800. Most of these houses are not where there's city water and sewer, but I'm getting charged for those services along the way. And then the city's tacking on more money. Well, why doesn't it get stepped up, right? Instead of just being, this is what it is. And she's like, you're not afraid? Listen, I don't own anything anyway, so you're not going to find out. I didn't even want to tell her, like, what my role title was. She's like, well, what's your title? I'm like, operations? That's all I ever say. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm one of an owner over here somewhere, right? Because why have that? That's an ego thing.
Yeah.
You see my email, it still says operations. But if you know, you know.
Right.
Okay?
Be humble. You don't need the ego, right?
What do I going to say? I'm Grand Poobah, right? Whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter to me.
I'm the emperor, the supreme,
When we had the other company, we had the photo of everybody, right?
Yeah.
I was the 3rd line last person.
Oh, cool.
So it was like my wife, it was the acquisition manager, disposition manager, and a couple people, then me.
Yeah.
Was that correct? No. But you know what? I never had made a decision I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not a decision maker then. Hey, let me go see if I can get that done for you. I still use that line if you don't know me.
I like that.
I use it on my kids. So let me see if I can get that done for you. I'm training them.
Can I roll the watch on the ground? Let me see if I can get that done for
that
you.
got a reaction. I was like, that's my watch.
Ah.
Wait a minute, that's the other one. Hey, girl, we got to talk, right?
That's fun.
8-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
So it's a different skill set, I guess. Than, training. I'm like, why did she play the watches with her friends? No. Let me get you something else, right? But when you're building a business, you're doing it now. Okay, we've had talks, right? It's you're filling a seat.
Yep.
And then you're watching this person succeed or fail, but you have a lot to the input of what you do with it. It's important, right? I've had people run away in the beginning crying because I had no structure.
Sure.
But I don't need structure. They do.
Right.
I work well in my chaos. I know where everything is, like in my head.
I know.
Okay.
And you hit it on the head there, because when it's just you. You can live in that chaos, and you can be, that's your structure. Yeah,
right.
and it was funny. I was going through on my way here. I was like, oh, just look at my email and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, I can't find it. I said, oh, no, just do this, this, and that. And they're like, oh, I never would have thought that. I'm like, oh, well, because in my head, that makes sense. But for anyone else,
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
They
make
just look
sense.
at us like how weird we are.
Yeah.
But that's why you put somebody in there who's better at structuring it, right?
For sure. Well, as soon as we got, we really got just operationally just so much more organized.
Well, you become operationally efficient.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's a really good term, because then you're getting rid of the waste. Things get streamlined.
Yep.
But then you know how that happens? Vinny's not involved.
Correct. Oh, yeah. It's just the working on versus in, to your point. Like
Totally different.
It's just the last. Look, I'm sitting here with you right now. Before, I couldn't get away from my computer.
Right.
And so, like, things are happening now. I'm blessed with a phenomenal team. Work with my husband. I have a wonderful. I get to work with my best friend Lexi. It's just.
She was saying about all the meetings you guys have been in.
Yeah,
I'm like, can't wait till Vinny just has Lexi doing those meetings.
And it's so fun because we were in California, and we went to the highest and best for Andrea and Andrew.
I was there.
And it was Alexa up there, and I was at Disney.
She's good at that, though.
She is.
She's pushy.
Great.
She's pushy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
like
it.
when we had that little issue, it was like, I'm like, listen, girl, man, we can both build the China shop without a problem. And we sat down there because we don't really know each other well enough, right?
Right, yeah.
So we were at that event at her house, and then there we just shot, because like, it's almost like she's a female version, right? Because she's just pushy, and I don't think in a bad way.
No,
like she
certainly
is.
not.
This is what I'm going to do, what I want.
Yeah, super intentional. And she's like, this
It's like, I hope I don't offend you. I said, girl, I don't get offended like that. I don't, right? I just didn't say anything over that text that day because of what was going on.
Yeah,
but the old
for
me
sure.
would have reacted way different, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, when I become the voice of reason anywhere, we got a problem. And she says, I so recognize that in it, because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't have, like, one of the things I want Harlan to do is make sure I'm with some of the people who I don't know as well as our accountability partner.
Yeah, for sure.
We've
had a wonderful, I can't say enough about our accountability relationship. Harlan and I have, we send each other a little voice message every Monday. And then,
well, he's a 30-year military guy, right? So he's very, structured.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really beneficial. And just
yeah.
chatting with him too. He cares so much, and it's just been such a blessing to get to know him. And he went through our shoot camp to see his video. I'm like, because it's been a while since I've seen him preach in front, and so like essentially when he's in front of a camera, he just turned it on. I'm like,
where's that guy been, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because like on our calls in the morning.
Well, I told him about that. I said, you know what? You're the colonel, wherever he was. You're in charge here. So it's your job to build the structure that you think is best, and then we can adjust as we go.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for at 6 a.m. We're not looking for choices.
No.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because we can't have a choice at 6 a.m. because then we'll decide by 6:30 and we've missed half the time.
Correct.
He's like, do you think so? I said, Harlan, set this, and then we can adjust as we go along. How do you want to do things, right?
Correct.
But I think that, and if you've noticed, there's more intentionality in it now.
I did. I enjoyed that. I know there's some calls that we can be on and some calls we can't, but I've noticed recently that you're right, the intention is there, and it leads to better, deeper conversations, and I think everyone benefits more from it.
Absolutely.
Because like if we try to pack it in, or if you're right, if there are choices, then it's just like it loses that time to decision making, which can be done ahead of time.
I think because we were trying to do so much in an hour, you can't,
know.
right? But every part is very important.
It certainly is.
But we have a Christian mastermind, and so we were doing a lesson, a deep seed prayer, as we should. But now we're focused on one of them probably each time.
And it gives, because you're right, each one is important. and it gives us time to really focus on it and practice that one thing.
Yeah, and so you're just focused, like you said, on this thing for today. Because Ginny today was, she had the section of the Bible she was talking about. She was very good with it today.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
Yeah. And then David had like a quasi little hot seat for a little bit. Yeah. I'm sure we're going to talk about that. Probably wife wants to see me about something. I've gadgets about mobile homes, right? So, and so it was really a packed nonstop hour. Mm-hmm. There was no downtime. It was like, okay, we're good. All right. Andrew introduced us, so he had to be on time and up, right? Perfect. Maybe that should be his job, right? And so, but then it went right into it. And then it was really like, we were like 7:01. I have something next, so did Harlan.
Sure.
Then the people do the after stuff. Yeah. But the importance of how it was done matters. Yeah. Okay. You get so much more out of it. I think it keeps people more involved.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the interact. I mean, I treasure our group. I think, the time frame is not what I'm used to, but that's why I like it too.
Where would it fit, though, now in your days?
Sure wouldn't.
It wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
And so we carved it out because it was different then, but I'm like, man, it would be so hard to do 1 o'clock in the afternoon because everyone's busy.
So many would fall off.
Right, because you're out, you're doing it.
That's reserved, excuse me, that's reserved time now. And we as you know, you've missed a couple. I've missed more than a couple.
But we have enough people to cover,
fill in,
right?
You're 100% right.
But we just have to say, hey, I'm not going to make it. Correct. That's just it.
Yeah, don't no show and stuff like that. And if you do, something's wrong. And we've done a really nice job.
Then we reach out.
Yeah. Like, hey, what's up?
And that's the importance of it. And the funny thing is, like, how it transpired in the end, Harlan wanted to look nationwide. I'm like, dude, 6 a.m. nationwide is going to be hard. Like, that's 3 o'clock in California, right? Because he's talking about people he knew in Utah. Yeah. And then every one of us know each other.
We do.
And it was just so how funny came together. But that's what was supposed to happen. Yeah. Okay? Because, when you're in these groups, you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah, for sure you do.
So then all of us know each other on many different levels. Look, I did my first mastermind ever with Harlan. And I thought I didn't need him. That catapulted me part of today, right? Because I'm like, oh, I need this, but not this one. I need more. And that's what I just went off and found. I told him that. Now I'm going to go look, right? Open my eyes to things. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. Yeah, I need more. And then I went and I found it, right? And this is the same way. I think this will go off into different areas, like as it grows. Maybe we splinter into subgroups and everything like that. Who knows? Because I don't want it ever getting too many people in one call.
Yeah, it's hard to share and such.
And there's a number, right? Or maybe there's subgroups who knows, right? Yeah. But I just think it's a powerful group. The fact that we know each other, we can be vulnerable and then go even deeper now into relationships.
And that's the key because you have so many surface level groups we're a part of all the time.
Yeah.
And those serve their purpose. But I think, especially at 6 a.m., we're all friends. We've all done business together, and it's a nice opportunity to start your day fresh because you can work on or talk about whatever's going on. You can talk about our faith and then proceed. And it's like I find that Tuesdays are just the week restarts. Because there's Monday and then the Tuesday morning, and then you have a new just outlook.
I look at it like I've scheduled where I don't go to the gym on Tuesdays, right? But I did the sauna and I stretch and everything. Today I did the call on the floor, right? I was finishing up some stretches I wanted to do, but on longer pose holds. You guys don't need to see me. I'm stretching. I'm involved in everything, but I'm laying down on my back doing it because I'm holding this for 5 minutes. Oh, it's a good time to do it, right?
Sure.
I can't do anything else. I can't scroll on my phone.
Oh, you have
But I'm listening to everything.
Yeah.
So it worked out really well. I just didn't have my camera on.
Yeah.
But that's not a problem. People have been in the dark before, remember?
Oh, I know.
It's like, is that you back there?
I know.
But, it's just that we're intentional to be there and what learning comes from it.
Agreed.
And, so now we're finishing up this year. We're going to roll into next year. And I think next year is going to be a really positive year because the foundation is set now.
Yeah. And before, to your point, I joined in January or February, and we were still figuring stuff out. But now, we can set our intentions. We already have things figured out, and this year, sky's the limit on how deep we want to go, where we want to focus, and now we have the membership that is now pretty much set.
Yeah.
And so
We're the
we
core
can
group
make
of
shift.
people
Yeah.
we can always add.
Yeah.
Right. We people have dropped off. Look, Frank came in for a little while.
Oh,
Frank's
I
a great
know,
friend of mine.
I know. Well, likewise.
Okay. He doesn't like Zooms though.
I get that.
Okay, and that's
I
fine.
certainly get that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
if
of
we
either.
were at if we were at a Starbucks every morning or every Tuesday at 6, I'm sure Frank would still be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then it's the drive, right?
I
For
know.
everybody.
See, but that's the
now we're
thing.
leaving. So I live here, you live there, they live
Now we're
there.
in how many different counties?
So what? It would be an hour ride. So now it becomes a 3-hour
A
journey.
3-hour commitment.
We would
Whereas-
reduce people quick out of
Oh,
that.
I know. And that's the beauty. There are benefits and drawbacks to everything. And,
Oh, yeah.
and Zoom is great because it leverages our time.
Right.
Or Zoom, Discord, Google Meet, whatever.
Right.
And so I treasure our group.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I told Frank, he's like, because he had asked me about it. He came in and everything. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude. It's okay. I
No.
know. He is an amazing friend of mine.
Yeah.
Like we didn't do business, luckily, because we would have killed each other. But it has evolved because I think it's Frank and Tom 2.0. Like it's like the kinder, gentler version today. Like if you go back to 21 when we were talking about doing business, we would have killed each other.
sure.
Because we were just this. But we have, I don't know if you saw a post I did a few months ago where we had a call for something and it goes like just out of the blue for something, right? And it went so deep because he had a problem. And then I had, we just talked about it. And I think men don't have that usually. And I said, I made a post. I hope everyone has a friend like Frank Hopkins.
Yeah.
Because we still check in with each other. Last year he had the cancer scare. The first thing we did was pray about it, right?
Yeah.
Then he needed a functional nutritionist. My personal trainer at the time was a functional nutritionist, but a great Christian. Put them together immediately.
Isn't that funny how that works?
And we prayed, right? And it was a false alarm. Even better, right? And so, but the friendships at that level that we have now, like me and Andrew Braun. Like he's one of my favorite people. Colleen Pacheco.
Likewise.
And you just see this level of groups, but these are people who are in our lives, maybe, but they don't need to be every day. But when you see them, it's like nothing has changed.
Yeah, very familial.
It's like even though we haven't seen each other, sometimes it's several months.
For sure.
Like Colleen just reached out, hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
Like I'm good,
she's
right?
fantastic.
I do the same for her,
Yeah.
right? We did we're closing our second project together, right? This one was a hiccup because the unit came. There was issues with the unit. I held it way too long, and she made more than I did on it. She's like, yeah, I did the numbers. I think I got this. I said, you moved the decimal point the wrong way. It's not 2,100. It's 21,000. She's like, what? I'm like, you can buy. She's going on a cruise. Her and her husband to the Turks and Caicos. You can buy a lot of drinks. She's like, oh yeah. She moved. She was doing her payoff, and that's why I was calling anyway. I'm like, girl, let me do your math, right? She's like, I was doing it. Like, you got a phone? She's like, I didn't do it there. You should have, right? But she was like, yeah, let's go again. I said, I hope I don't pay you as much, but I pay you half of that in half the time. She's like, well, it's the same. Yes, but that means we're doing twice the project, so it's different for me. And she's like, roll it again, But she finally is getting a self-directed IRA. She's doing this and she's doing that. So I'm like, no, you need to put this over there, not pay taxes, because they're going to crush you on it, right? And then she was talking to somebody, and they were giving her the wrong. But go call McNamara.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Because he can be gray. He knows all the loopholes. He's good at that.
Oh, he's
The first day he
smart
gave
guy.
me teaching on it, right? I was going to Joe, and Joe said, you're talking to Tom McNamara, aren't you? I'm like, yeah.
Tom puts his stamp on things, and he's a smart
But
dude.
it was how to get around something.
Yeah.
But that's our network again, right?
Yeah.
If you look at this, people don't understand, you can't be transactional with anybody. It's give and take, okay? And if they take too much, then you just cut it off. But I think that when you go to the collaborative stages as your business grows, you have to be able to pick up the phone and not for $1 get results. And when you can, and they have to be able to call you for results. And it doesn't mean it's like, well, no, I only owe you 1, you need 2. No, it doesn't work that way. We don't keep score.
No, it's symbiotic. It just, and it flows.
And when you do that, and that permeates through your organization, and people know that's how it works, and then the people you attract into your life, because they're going to be the same way. And then magic starts to happen. Because then it doesn't become a bunch of mercenaries out there. It becomes a people with purpose.
Yes.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Like, I weed out mercenaries in my organization quick. Really quick.
Yeah.
And because you have to. They can make a ton of money, right? But if that's your motivation here, it's going to be an issue. So, because we don't live on that.
Right.
And I know they have paychecks and fine. Their paychecks are always taken care of, but you have to understand we're going to ask you to go the extra mile on every home.
Agree.
And if they don't do it, they're gone. You know, so, but the group and the people, the network, the purpose, you put that, like, it's like a special soup.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? And people think that's
Interesting.
hocus pocus and bullcrap. Like it's, I remember when I used to share other realtors, and I'm not a realtor, but other people's properties they were selling and all that. People would say, I'm never going to get ahead by doing that. Dude, I'm already ahead. You don't realize, because I can do this. Like my winning has nothing to do with them losing.
Correct.
But people don't see that.
No, people are always concerned with, like everything is a competition in the wrong way. And it goes back to that give first mentality that we spoke about earlier, because that is so key. And just when you approach life like that, an abundance mentality instead of scarcity.
I train my competition.
Yeah.
I train them.
That's fantastic.
And I get mad when they don't do it right.
Yeah.
If you ever hope to catch me, do it this way. I told you why.
Well, everyone up levels, like we talked. This is full circle from the beginning of the conversation with Sora, or excuse me, with Gemini and OpenAI and all the others. Like
I give it away.
Yeah.
Like we're on the call today, and David's asking about things, right? And I gave like a PhD level course in 5 minutes of what he needs.
Yeah.
And we were already meeting today, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I got But because I believe in being the iceberg mentality, I'm showing you this, but it's really this.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Right? And so he's worried about financing, and I just told him, I got it covered for you in January. He's like, what do you mean? I said, through my mortgage company, they're building out ready, ground-up construction financing for manufactured house, start to finish. Oh, and you want to keep it as a rental? We're going to build in a DSCR loan upfront, one-time close. Nobody has it. But I'm an investor, right? I did my job. I went down. I met with the head guy in Lauderdale because he wanted to go. I mean, if he told me Iowa, I wasn't going.
Sure.
Lauderdale warm, Tom come, right? We sat down at a table, and we nailed it out in like 30 seconds. He turned to the other guy and said, okay. Monday I came back. We had a meeting. He said, we'll have this up in January, by January for you. Because they've raised $10 billion for mortgage products, different types, right?
Sure.
So I can fix all David's problems in January for him. Cool. I got you covered, right? Because he's listening better. Because it's hard. Remember, he's been doing real estate twice as long, if not more than that, than me. So people don't like that sometimes.
Sure.
Hey, but okay. But I'm willing to teach you. I'm willing to give it to you. But why do this? You know that's going to be a problem. I told you, yeah, but we just wanted to see, what, mistakes? Try that when you're already successful on a track record. Then you can, when you're profitable, then you could do some little tweaking and see what happens.
Right.
But I'm telling you, if you do that, it's going to blow up bad. And then he calls me and tells me it blew up bad. Well, I told you. Like, my wife doesn't listen either when I tell her some things, right? But she said the same. But, because I've already given them, like, hey, don't do 4 projects on the same street at the same time. Don't do permitting yourself. It's like you're going to bake a cake. You building a sponge cake the first time or a 10-tier wedding cake? They're trying 10-tier. I'm like, oh, so I've done hundreds of these. I don't pull my own permits. And you haven't done one, and you're going to do that. Popcorn time, right? Just sit back.
Yeah.
He's like, it won't be that bad. Okay. In what county again? Volusia? In Ormond Beach? Okay. Really hard permitting. So it blew up in phase 1, all of it, on all the projects. Because they're doing it at the same time.
Sure. Oh, wow.
It's like, you did tell me this. Because he asked me, what do I think? I'm going to tell you. I could have said, oh, that's a great idea. No, this is what's going to happen. How do you know? Because I did it. I know exactly. And then you're competing against yourself trying to sell it. We have 2 houses on the same street, right? Lady's like, I'm just going to go to the other one and make them an offer. It's my house too. But I'm competing against myself, right?
Yeah.
That's a problem. But he gets it now.
Yeah.
Right? And so, no problem. Hey, we're meeting for coffee. We're going to discuss it. We'll get it all fixed for him.
Cool.
And at the same time, before that, I'm working on with another guy in Maryland about opening up a franchise dealership.
My friend Dave, one of his mantras on another client of ours on his channel, your network is your net worth. It's just the same,
That's where we were getting at before. Same thing.
100%.
And it doesn't mean monetary things. Like,
No.
look, Andrew Braun, we are on his fishing boat.
Yeah.
Everybody is throwing. I mean, it was really bad.
I heard that.
Really bad. So, but it had a second deck, and
Yeah.
I went with my son.
Yep.
He started puking. Then
Good boy.
they had the Dramamine, I think.
Yeah.
Give them away for free. Gave them 2. Sleepy time.
Oh yeah, that'll put you.
But they had half seats and half bunks, so they're just puking and then sleeping.
Oof.
And then I just took my pole, I tied it, and I'm like, let me go see what's up there. They had lounge chairs. I'm like, oh, I'm good.
Oh, that's nice.
My phone doesn't work there either because she was so far out. I'm like, this isn't bad, right? I put my earphone in. I have some downloaded stuff I'm listening to. He comes up, we sit down, and then we started, he's like, hey, can we talk about, absolutely, dude,
Yeah.
business stuff, right? And then I'm like, man, you haven't reached out to this person for this. Know him really well. This person for this person for this. How come? He just didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Why? Because
Yeah.
he doesn't want to call and ask.
Sure.
I said, but Andrew, they call you and ask,
Yeah.
right? Well, yeah. Call and ask.
When we lean on and that's we work so hard, and it's truly about community and those that we surround ourselves with, and that symbiotic nature, right?
I was never like this growing up.
Yeah.
It was me. You needed to lose for me to win.
Sure.
And I needed to run all over you too.
Yeah.
I'm going to be helping you up now. Come on, let's go run this race
Yeah.
together. Help. Let's just go.
But we're always in a state of becoming, right? We're always becoming and
the next best version of you.
for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's only goal is to be better than today. And if you just live that way. That's why, my sales manager, she said, what's the biggest difference between me today and when I met her 6 years ago on my first flip when I didn't even know how to do anything?
Sure.
I said, my library. I said, my library.
Yeah.
She's like, when do you have time to read? I make time because that's why I am where I am.
Yeah, you have to.
Because all that opened my eyes to what could be possible. Right? I remember I met you the first night. You don't remember, but Frank Foco's meeting at the Power Place, 2019, right?
Okay, I remember that event.
Tim Davis is speaking, though.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe I was a little cocky. I said, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. That's what I said to myself.
Sure.
And then a couple of years later, Tim asked me several times to do business with him, and I did a bunch of
Yeah,
flips, right?
sure, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I got a
is
signed
neat.
copy of the book,
Yeah.
right? But the guy who to me, I said, well, if he did it, I can do it. Because remember, his story is good, dead broke, good again, right?
For sure.
Now he's like a guitarist traveling.
I know. How cool
his
is
dreams,
that?
right? Okay,
I know.
cool, right?
I love seeing that.
I do, right? But I said, if he can, I can. And when I do my coaching with people, I always say, we're going to teach you to fly. I'm not going to say go flap your wings and jump. We're not drinking, right? But when you realize you are so much more powerful than what you give yourself credit for,
I agree.
and that you're just following, if they did it, why can't you? Like my little girl, and this was my most proudest moment lately of her, is we did, she always told me she couldn't do public speaking. I said, well, Dad, was a horrible stutterer. She's like, I seen the video. Okay, you can do it. She's like, no, I can't. No, I can't. So a few weeks ago, she comes in, it's a Tuesday. She says, Dad, I checked your calendar, and they didn't schedule you to be at my play tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh, they forgot to put it in the calendar, Mommy. So she's in front of my desk. I'm already typing Gene to cancel my morning. I'm not saying it to her, though. I'm not telling her I'm coming. Because I'm waiting to hear what she says, right? She says, I know you're really busy, I saw. Yeah, okay. Next one, I'll make sure it's in there. All right, girl, you give me a kiss. I'll be up there in a little bit, right? So when I show up, there's the first section, there's big seats. It's in the chapel at school. This is where we go to church, too, so it's big. And then another second, so I'm in the middle in between, and I'm watching, and she's the narrator, the only speaking for the play. The only person who speaks, the whole play is her. And I was like, holy crap, right? So I video the whole thing, a little teary-eyed, right? Because she didn't skip a beat, she didn't make a mistake. Now, she didn't know I'm there yet. So then put the phone away, they sit down, and then I start to walk up. Then they bring them back up on stage for, to thank everybody. Then she sees me, and she just jumps off the stage into my arms. And there's a school resource officer there. He's like, hey, we don't really like that too much, but, this time's okay, right? Because that's what being present, and that's what I did this business for.
Yeah.
And she was like, you made it. I can't believe you didn't think I wasn't going to make it, right? She's like, I thought about it, but your calendar. I said, grab that calendar, I'll burn it down.
Yeah.
I said, look what I sent you. Look at the timestamp. I showed her the email. She's like, you were canceling everything when you told me.
That's what matters.
That's because she did something she couldn't do, she said. I can't. I always try to get her, my wife, to dance out when there's no music. Let's just get up and dance. My wife has done it one time, very grudgingly. That same Saturday, we go out to, I forget, one of the malls, a mall of all things. Like, well, the outside outlet thing, right?
Yeah.
My daughter's like, let's dance. I'm like, girl, let's go. So she gets up on the fountain, and because that way she's my height, and we're just dancing, right? My wife comes out, and she's looking. And later on, Ella was someplace, and she's like, she can fly, can't she? I said, yeah.
Oh.
And now she's just running everywhere, singing and doing whatever. Like, because who cares?
Yeah. And it's really about giving ourselves the permission to fly, but we don't often know we can.
We worry what people think when we flop. You know what you should worry about? They're not going to do it anyway.
Right.
And they're going to limit you if they can.
And they're not, when we make mistakes, we always think, oh, they're going to think this. They're not. They have their own crap
They're
they're
not even
worried
paying
about.
attention.
Correct.
They're not even paying attention.
Correct.
And when you realize that, you're free.
Agreed.
It's like that Gladiator song comes on in The Matrix. Once you realize it's all together, it's like, this doesn't exist. This isn't a problem. It's me making it a problem. You know, we're our own biggest enemies. We create these blocks in our head because what happens when I fail? What happens when you succeed?
Right.
Okay? And I was just teaching someone this the other day. I said, look, you think 30% is a good number? No. I said, if you're a professional baseball player and you get 3 out of 10, you're in the Hall of Fame one day. Okay? That's business.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to strike out maybe 7 times. But man, if you get those 3 home runs, guess what? But you got to do those 7 strikeouts or the other at-bats.
Yeah.
And they're looking at that. They're looking at me, and they're like, no. I'm like, no, yeah.
Yeah.
You see this today? You're like, yeah, I have more failures than I have success.
And we learn more from our failures than
Absolutely.
we do our success. And it's all about practicing. Like we said, and it comes back to that too. And it's just like, I was talking to my mentor yesterday, and she's like, wow, you have a lot of successes and a lot of, we say peaks and valleys, right? You have a lot of valleys today and a lot of peaks. She's like, welcome to the entrepreneurship, baby.
You know, it's just, I'm just going to tell you, when I set my mind to do something, I'm going to win. I just don't know how yet, which way. I just don't know which way, right?
Correct.
Because this is the thing here. My business today, manufactured housing. When I started real estate, I wouldn't even touch them.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of considered kind of smart in this field. Kind of smart. Okay? But I would never touch them years ago. This was in my plan. What do we say now, Vinny? Man plan, God laughs.
Always.
He says, okay, I got you. I'm going to give you what you want, but here's the kicker, boy. It's going to be in mobile homes. That's how I view it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Because my wife and I said, this is the life we want. We didn't say the exact business.
Correct.
We wanted to be home and present for our children. We didn't ask for mansions.
No.
We didn't ask for any of that.
Home
we just
and present.
wanted this. We want to be able to take care of our family. And we have extended family we take care of. The business does.
Yeah.
We built that business. It's just with something we didn't think about.
Well, and it's like we set our intentions, and I firmly believe that, God gave us the power to create. He made us in His own image, and our power of creation is stemming from Him. And so we set our intentions out there, and we declare and we stand in these possibilities that are all very powerful. But then we often don't know, to your point, how that's going to happen. If you told me 2 years ago that we would be doing like 2 years ago, I was still running my vacant land business. And so I just, my life
I remember. That's why I bumped into you again.
Yeah. It is drastically different. And I have been blessed. I've met so many people, and we're in this group, and it feels like, and like, man plans, God laughs, just continually, and but it strengthens the faith too. And the biggest thing I can say that I can point to is just talking to Him every day.
Every day. It doesn't have to be a lot. Like,
No, for
I
sure.
roll over every morning. I pray. It could be. I remember a few months ago, I was at one of the Collective Geniuses, and I woke up late. I don't normally do that, but it was a busy week, and we were on vacation, so I had kid stuff to do in between. I was exhausted, and I'm going to walk with some other Christians in the morning before the meetings start. I literally had a minute for him, so I rolled over and said, "Hey, dude, I'm going to go talk about you anyway." All right, thank you for waking me up. And they were, it wasn't just Christians, it was faith-based. So there was a Jew, there was a Catholic, and it was like the joke, because I'm both, right? And they were like, and I got there they're like, oh man, I wasn't late. I didn't get a lot of time for God this morning, but we're going to take care of it here. You didn't? Like I was wrong. I'm like, no. I told him what I'm doing. He knows I'm coming to talk about Him.
Yeah.
Like, my dad was a Jew, my mom was a Catholic, so dogmatic. I don't believe in that.
Sure.
Right? Like, when I was in Catholic church, I was a good dog. I knew when to stand, sit,
Oh,
pray, because
sure.
it was in Latin back then, remember? When
Oh,
I was a
my.
kid, it was, right? I didn't know what the heck they were saying, but I knew at this point in the service, I could bring out my comic book because I had a few minutes.
And nobody
That's all I
possibly-
knew, right?
Yeah.
My relationship, I never had the relationship I do have with him today. Because when I screw up, it's like, dude, there it is again, sorry. Like, but they're not what I used to screw up with.
Yeah.
It's like that swear jar. It's like, you know, that's the last hurdle for me probably, right? You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying, but I'm not doing this either.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's a balance thing. We're working on it.
Correct.
You know, I'm going to wrap up with you, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to ask you a question too, but Ed Mylett says it really well. When you die, you are going to meet the best version you could have been. Will that person, that version of Vinny, recognize Vinny? When I heard that for the first time, it blew me away. And that's why I say every day get better. Because when you die, all the skills and gifts God gave you, I tell my daughter there's superpower somewhere in you. Well, what is it? You got to find out.
Sure.
Okay? And so that's our job, to learn to get our superpowers, because there's going to be a version we're going to meet. And does that person say, well done? Or who the heck are you?
Right.
You know? And like, that's a really powerful statement.
It sure is.
And I met him, it blew me away. It almost blew me away in the sense, because I could have gone to his house at this thing, but I had to write a really, really big check. And common sense said, don't write the check, you'll see him again. But it's that kind of wording that changes my life, because that resonates with me. That's the reason to keep learning and educating and giving and doing better each and every day. And then forgiving.
Yeah, for sure.
So what would you tell somebody getting into either the real estate niche, any business niche right now? Like, what advice? Because you do help people from the social media side grow a business. So give them advice for starting out.
I would say the number one thing is be authentic.
Yes.
And when you're your authentic self and you authentically share, you can enroll people just by being yourself, by speaking your truth. You can enroll people in anything, because when we're speaking from the heart,
Right.
you know, we hear that, and it will move and inspire folks.
Yep.
And we authentically shared for 4 hours in January of last
Look
year.
where it led us.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like so many things, and we talked about it the whole time today. Like, it leads to deeper conversations. Everyone's authentic. Like, that is the key.
But a lot of people won't believe that,
Right.
because they have this dual personality. They're like, hey, this is who I am there, and this is who I am there.
And I can totally appreciate that. So I'm big into Enneagrams. I'm in Enneagram 3, which means I wear different masks, essentially, you know, because I grew up, my parents, they're the hardest workers I've ever met. And so they demanded perfection. And so I would wear different masks to, you know, make sure that I could deliver that, you know. And so that's why I was friends with everyone in school, with the jocks, with the nerds, with the,
Right.
you know, the choir folks, etc. And so, and I learned, I'm like, I don't really know who I am.
Do
But
you today?
I am my masks. I'm all of it.
But it has to be one. It
Correct.
has to be, so you can't have it split, right?
No.
There's this version, like, this is who I am. Somebody off my YouTube channel was listening to their husband watch me.
Interesting.
And she happened to be my ex-girlfriend from high school.
Okay.
She recognized my voice, but not me.
Really?
We dated for a while, too. High school, college, right? Haven't talked to her since 1999, 2000. The comment she gave me, because now we're connected, right? She reached out. She was talking to Nikki. We've talked a few times, you know. Friends, right? And she says, you look so comfortable in your skin today. I said, you know what? I thought about it. I said, you are perfectly right.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
But that's somebody who knew me then and hasn't seen me, 2000, so 25 years? 25 years. And she said, you were never this then,
Sure.
because of how my childhood was. But I have to unpack those things, and there's not a mask anymore.
Right.
It's just this, right?
Yeah, and I guess that's what I was getting at is just like when we look at everything in the past and the different masks we put on.
Well, you have
it
to be a
does-
chameleon growing up.
Correct.
But that's what, so I grew up with trauma. That's what a child that grows up with trauma does. You have to be a chameleon. Okay? But then you have to choose one day who you are.
Correct.
Because then you don't have an identity.
Right.
What's my identity? My children's dad.
Yeah.
That's who I'm locked in as. And if I live that role, I'm good. Then everything stems from it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I can tell you're much more comfortable in your skin. I'm certainly much more comfortable in my skin than probably when you met me, 8 years ago or whenever we met.
That's another story.
Yeah, sure
I
is.
know, right? Yeah.
We'll have to have another podcast for that one.
Well, yeah, because we should have a story on it because people would need to hear it, right?
I agree with that.
Because that's a journey that people go through.
Sure does. Yes, you do.
And it's very issues in society and everything. And, but our mess is our message.
Yeah, I love that.
And Jen Gottlieb said that at an event, and I started following her off of that because I'm like,
Yeah.
because when we tell people our
Wow.
screw-ups, not our
Yeah.
greats, right?
Well, the dud of the month, just.
I'll tell you all my failures because I can tell you like that.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I was telling Sean the other day, I named all 29 of them. He's like, tell me. I was like, dude, watch this.
Yeah.
Get your fingers going. And then I went there's a video on my phone with the 29. I said, here you go. He's like, holy crap, those are all learning experience. There used to be a line in my drawer, one of those pull out. I had a sheet of paper. I wrote down that property and what I learned, that property and what I learned.
Yeah.
You know what? I never did it again.
Well, that's the thing. Making mistakes is fine and they are necessary, but the mastery comes when you don't make that again.
That's why
when
you have to write it down.
Correct.
And then, then it works better for you.
Yeah.
Because then you forget it.
You're right.
Don't
And we
repeat the
certainly
mistakes
do.
of the past.
But, and putting it up on your wall or your vision board or whatever, just so it's right there. And like you have it on your phone, you know the 28, so you're aware of it.
When I walk in my office, I'm down to one. I used to have whiteboards everywhere, but I'm electronically driven these days.
I'm the same now.
That's just for little notes now, but it says in really deep red marker, you are the CEO of, now it's a $30+ million company, so act like it.
Yeah.
Because we put $8 million of revenue into the pipeline for the fourth quarter. In 22, my revenue was $6.5 million total. Wow. But I have to remember, if I don't act like it, nobody else will.
I learned that small lesson in October. My cousin looked at me. He runs a big company. He's a big chemist and such, and his company is trying to solve the cancer problem. And so lots of wonderful work he's doing. But he looked at me. He's like, Vinny, you're a CEO now. Like
The hustler must die.
Yeah. Act
You
like
know,
one.
that's what you have to do. It's
Yeah,
like when
I
I'm at
love
meeting,
that.
I told Sean, look, we're at the meeting with Sean. He's like, your phone's not ringing. Someone else's job.
Yeah.
My job is to talk to you right now.
Yeah.
When I'm at the other meeting, I remember I was having a meeting with another this guy's like huge investor, and he's like, you're not answering your phone or looking at it. No, this is my time with you.
Yeah, no, we have to live, to your point, now.
Right.
This is what we have.
You know, so I'm not that guy who's going to put his phone there and during our meetings be like this and everything, right? People can get through. It's an emergency then.
Oh, yeah.
But when I'm in those meetings, I turn it off because that's my time with this person.
Correct.
Look, I just coached somebody in the car here, right? I can do that 45 minutes. That's her time.
Yes.
Right? I told her, hey, I can give you a little more if we do it on the drive today because then I don't have a hard stop. But she took it, right? Because now I can go an hour.
Yeah.
Okay?
And that's leverage. That's great.
That's her time. Okay? You know, I'm like, it's off. We're not talking anything else, right? Because I had to get revenue, net, and gross profit understanding for her. Like, that's not your profit. That's your revenue. It's just, she got it. She wants to shoot me. She's an ex-cop. So everybody, hey, this is Vinny Garasi. Good man, amazing friend, and more. Thanks for watching.